The India-Pakistan relationship, a complex tapestry woven with threads of shared history and bitter division, born from the violent and traumatic 1947 partition, which resulted in mass displacement and communal bloodshed, is defined by deep-rooted suspicion, mistrust, and persistent conflict that has shaped the geopolitical landscape of South Asia. This rivalry has far-reaching implications for regional stability and global security. Three major wars, in 1947, 1965, and 1971, and countless skirmishes along the border and the line of control have left deep scars on both nations, fueling a cycle of animosity and retribution. These conflicts have resulted in significant military and civilian casualties, with the disputed territory of Kashmir at the very heart of their enduring rivalry, a constant source of friction and instability. Both nations lay claim to the entire region of Kashmir, viewing it as an integral part of their national identity and strategic interests, but only exercise control over parts of it, resulting in a divided territory and a constant source of contention, fueling decades of political tension, cross-border militancy, and widespread violence that has plagued the region and its people. The line of control, which serves as the de facto border, remains one of the world's most heavily militarized borders, a testament to the ongoing hostility, symbolizing the unresolved territorial dispute and the deep-seated animosity that continues to divide the two nations. The introduction of nuclear weapons by both India and Pakistan in the late 1990s has dramatically raised the stakes, transforming the conflict and making any future military confrontation potentially catastrophic for the entire region and beyond. India's recent assertive foreign and security policies under Prime Minister Modi, including controversial cross-border strikes and military operations, have further heightened tensions and escalated the risk of renewed conflict between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. Pakistan's military establishment, often citing the perceived Indian threat and the need to defend national sovereignty, continues to maintain significant influence over national politics, economic resources, and foreign policy decisions. Domestic politics on both sides, fueled by nationalist sentiments and historical grievances, often serve to inflame tensions and harden positions, making de-escalation efforts exceedingly difficult and keeping the entire South Asian region on a perpetual edge of uncertainty and instability. In April 2025, a devastating terrorist attack struck Pahalgam in the heart of Kashmir, tragically killing 26 innocent civilians. The attack shattered the already uneasy peace that had been tentatively holding. India quickly and firmly blamed Pakistan-based militants for the attack, arguing that such a coordinated attack required significant support from across the border. Pakistan vehemently denied any involvement in the deadly incident, but diplomatic tensions between the two nations soared dramatically. The international community watched with growing anxiety and concern, fearing yet another dangerous escalation between the two nuclear-armed neighbors. A wave of outrage swept across India, with fervent calls for retribution and retaliation dominating the media landscape and political discourse. Military readiness was visibly increased on both sides of the border, and nationalist rhetoric reached fever pitch, intensifying the already strained atmosphere. The tragic Pahalgam attack quickly became a dangerous flashpoint, threatening to ignite a much larger and far more devastating conflict. India responded forcefully to the escalating tensions, making it clear that it would not tolerate further provocations. The response included launching missile strikes, a significant escalation in the conflict. These strikes were aimed into Pakistan-administered Kashmir, signaling a direct challenge to Pakistan's control over the region. The strikes extended even into Punjab, a key province in Pakistan, demonstrating India's reach and resolve. The stated objective was targeting alleged militant sites, which India claimed were harboring anti-India elements. The strikes also aimed at military infrastructure, further weakening Pakistan's ability to respond. Pakistan reported civilian casualties as a result of these strikes, raising concerns about the humanitarian impact of the conflict. However, India maintained that these were precision strikes on terrorist targets, minimizing collateral damage. The information war intensified rapidly, with both sides attempting to control the narrative and shape public opinion. Each side pushed conflicting narratives, making it difficult to ascertain the truth amidst the fog of war. India escalated the situation even further, taking actions that went beyond military strikes. This included suspending the Indus Waters Treaty, a long-standing agreement on water sharing. This decision threatened Pakistan's water supply, a critical resource for its agriculture and population. These actions raised international alarm, with many countries expressing concern about the potential for further escalation. These actions marked a sharp departure from previous crises, indicating a shift in India's strategic approach. It was a move away from the established norms of engagement during previous crises, signaling a new level of assertiveness. This signaled India's willingness to impose severe costs on Pakistan for perceived provocations. The Modi government's assertive response was largely popular at home, reflecting a surge in nationalist sentiment. However, it also raised fears of uncontrollable escalation among international observers and worried civilians. The entire region braced for the potential consequences of this unprecedented confrontation. Understanding the stakes were incredibly high. The world watched as India and Pakistan teetered on the brink, facing the potential ramifications of this dangerous and unprecedented confrontation. Pakistan launched Operation Banyan Mahsoos in response, vowing calibrated retaliation focused on Indian military targets. Intense shelling across the line of control caused casualties and destruction in Indian-administered Kashmir. Pakistan claimed to have shot down Indian jets, while India denied losses, highlighting the fog of war. The conflict quickly escalated into a full-blown military standoff, with both sides exchanging artillery and airstrikes. The operation's name projected resilience, rallying domestic support for the military. The region faced its most dangerous standoff in decades, with the world watching anxiously. From May 7th to 10th, 2025, India and Pakistan engaged in their most intense confrontation in 50 years. Missiles, drones, and heavy artillery struck targets beyond Kashmir, bringing the region to the brink of wider war. Both sides issued contradictory claims of success, fueling confusion and fear. Civilian casualties mounted, and thousands fled border areas to escape the violence. The four-day conflict ended in a military stalemate, with the risk of nuclear escalation looming large. International pressure mounted for an immediate ceasefire as the world feared the worst. The crisis triggered urgent appeals for restraint from the UN, US, China, and the EU, all fearing nuclear escalation. The US, under President Trump, brokered a ceasefire announced on May 10th, though India insisted on bilateral talks for Kashmir. The conflict dented India's global image and raised questions about its assertive security doctrine. Pakistan's military gained a temporary boost in domestic support. Daily life in border regions was upended by curfews, flight cancellations, and economic disruption. Cross-border trade and cultural ties were severed, deepening mistrust. India's crackdown on social media during the crisis sparked debate over freedom of expression. By late May 2025, a fragile ceasefire held, a tense quiet descended upon the border regions. Both sides, weary from the recent conflict, tentatively adhered to the agreement, but the underlying tensions remained palpable. But core disputes, the very issues that ignited the conflict, especially Kashmir, the long-contested region at the heart of the conflict, remained unresolved, a constant source of potential future conflict. The line of control, a scar across the landscape, stood as a stark reminder of the division. Diplomatic channels were strained, communication minimal, and mistrust persisted on both sides, poisoning any attempts at reconciliation. Each nation viewed the other with deep suspicion. In Pakistan, the military's popularity surged, fueled by nationalist sentiment and a perceived victory, but analysts warned this could be short-lived without real reforms, without addressing the underlying economic and social issues. The best hope for peace lies in sustained international mediation, a concerted effort by global powers to bring both sides to the table, and genuine dialogue, a willingness to listen and understand the other's perspective. But political incentives for confrontation remain strong, fueled by nationalist fervor and domestic pressures. A tense status quo is likely. a fragile peace punctuated by moments of heightened alert, with periodic crises, flare-ups that threaten to reignite the conflict, and mounting humanitarian costs. The devastating impact on the lives of ordinary people caught in the crossfire. The gravest risk is another major attack or miscalculation, a single spark that could ignite a powder keg, which could trigger catastrophic escalation, a descent into a nuclear nightmare. The 2025 conflict starkly reaffirmed the dangers of this rivalry, the potential for unimaginable destruction, making the search for peace more urgent than ever, a moral imperative for the sake of future generations.